No one noticed when the billionaire collapsed, except the janitor mopping the marble floor. Ethan Walker had learned to keep his head down. At 5 every morning before the city woke up, he pushed his cleaning cart through the glass tower where money lived and breathed. The executives passed him without seeing him, their shoes clicking like reminders of how far above him they stood. That morning, as sunlight spilled across the lobby, Ethan was thinking about his daughter Lily, how her asthma medicine was running low, how the rent was due, how he would smile anyway when she asked if everything would be okay. Then a sound cut through the silence, a sharp gasp, a body hitting stone. Ethan looked up to see a woman crumple near the elevators. Her designer purse slid across the floor. Her eyes were wide, panicked, her hands clawing at her throat. He recognized her instantly. Margaret Whitmore, founder of Whitmore Technologies, Billionaire. The woman whose face hung in framed magazines on the lobby wall. People froze, a security guard hesitated, someone shouted for help, but no one moved. Ethan dropped his mop and ran. Margaret's lips were turning blue. She was choking, no worse. Her chest wasn't moving. Ethan knelt, his heart pounding so hard he felt it in his ears. He'd taken a first aid course years ago when Lily was born. The instructor's voice echoed in his head, "If they're not breathing, don't wait. Act." He tilted Margaret's head back, checked her airway. Nothing. He didn't think about the headlines, the cameras, the difference between their worlds. He sealed his mouth over hers and breathed life into her lungs. Once, twice. On the third breath, Margaret coughed violently. Air rushed back into her chest. She gasped, tears spilling as oxygen returned. The lobby erupted, voices, footsteps, chaos, but Ethan barely heard it. He leaned back, shaking, relief crashing over him so hard he almost cried. Paramedics arrived within minutes. As they lifted Margaret onto a stretcher, her eyes found Ethan. She reached for his hand, gripping it with surprising strength. "Thank you," she whispered. Ethan nodded, embarrassed, already backing away. "Just doing what anyone should," he said. But not everyone would have. Within hours, the story exploded. Janitor saves billionaire with life-saving kiss. The footage from the lobby cameras went viral. Ethan's phone wouldn't stop buzzing, though most of the numbers were strangers. He ignored them all and went home to Lily, who hugged him tight and told him she was proud. The next day, Ethan was called into the building manager's office. His hands trembled as he sat, expecting trouble. Instead, the manager cleared his throat and said, "Mrs. Whitmore wants to see you." Ethan's first meeting with Margaret Whitmore happened in a hospital room filled with flowers. She looked smaller than on magazine covers, fragile in a way money couldn't hide. Her daughter, Grace, stood by the window, arms crossed, watching Ethan with sharp, curious eyes. "I owe you my life," Margaret said softly. "Please sit." Ethan stayed standing. "I'm glad you're okay." Margaret studied him. "They told me you're a single father." Ethan nodded. "My wife passed away 5 years ago. It's just me and Lily." Something shifted in Margaret's expression. Recognition, maybe, or regret. "I lost my husband when Grace was young," she said. "I buried myself in work after that." Grace looked away. Margaret offered Ethan a reward. Money. Enough to change his life overnight. Ethan swallowed hard. The thought of no more overdue bills, no more choosing between groceries and medicine made his chest ache. But he shook his head. "I didn't help you for money." Margaret smiled, but her eyes searched his face. "Then let me help you anyway." Ethan left without accepting anything, unsure if he'd done the right thing. Life didn't magically improve. The landlord still called. Lily still wheezed in the night. And at work, whispers followed Ethan everywhere. Some coworkers praised him. Others accused him of staging it, of chasing fame. The attention weighed on him like a second job. Weeks later, Lily had a severe asthma attack. The inhaler was empty. Ethan carried her down the stairs of their apartment building, his heart in his throat, praying under his breath. At the hospital, he filled out forms with shaking hands, knowing the bills would bury him. That's when Grace Whitmore walked into the waiting room. She looked different without the sharp suit, softer human. "My mother told me about your daughter," she said quietly. "We want to help." Ethan's pride flared. "I can manage." Grace met his eyes. "Can you?" The question hurt because it was honest. Margaret paid Lily's medical bills. She arranged for specialists, the best care money could buy. Slowly, cautiously, Ethan allowed help into his life. And as weeks turned into months, something unexpected happened. They became friends. Margaret invited Ethan and Lily to dinner, not at a mansion, but at a modest restaurant Margaret loved before success changed her life. Lily laughed with Grace. Ethan talked about mops and night shifts. Margaret listened like it all mattered. But the world didn't stop judging. Headlines turned cruel. Did janitor manipulate CEO, hero, or opportunist? Online comments dissected Ethan's life like a crime scene. Old debts surfaced. A former employer accused him of theft, false but damaging. When the accusation threatened Ethan's job, Margaret called him into her office. "I can make this go away," she said. "One phone call." Ethan's shoulders sagged. "I don't want special treatment." Margaret leaned forward. "Ethan, sometimes accepting help doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise." Still, Ethan chose to fight it himself, with evidence, with truth. It took weeks, but he cleared his name. He kept his job not as a janitor. Margaret offered him a position overseeing maintenance for all her properties. Fair pay, respect, a chance. The day Ethan signed the contract, he cried in his car. But the biggest change wasn't the job. It was what happened one quiet evening on a park bench. Margaret sat beside Ethan as Lily played nearby. "When you saved me," she said, "you didn't just give me breath. You reminded me what matters." Ethan smiled sadly. "I just did what I'd hoped someone would do for my daughter." Margaret nodded. "I spent my life building an empire so I'd never feel powerless again. And yet, lying on that floor, I realized none of it could save me." They sat in silence, watching Lily laugh. "I don't want to be alone anymore," Margaret said finally. Ethan didn't answer right away. His heart had been closed for a long time, boarded up by grief and responsibility. "Neither do I," he said. Their relationship didn't bloom overnight. It grew slowly, carefully, rooted in respect. Grace watched closely, protective but hopeful. Lily adored Margaret, calling her Miss Maggie before daring to say more. Years later, when Ethan stood in that same lobby, no mop in his hands, Lily holding his arm, he looked at the spot where everything changed. A place where a man with nothing but courage chose to act. He kissed a stranger to save her life. And in doing so, he found his own. The world likes to measure worth in numbers, titles, and headlines. But real value shows up in moments of choice, when no one is watching, when love costs something, when kindness risks misunderstanding. That day, a janitor taught a billionaire what it means to be human. And together, they proved that sometimes, one brave act can change everything.